Welcome to my wife's channel. Today we're roasting chicken, baking chicken, however you like to say it. And it usually takes, it's very easy, you just have to have a good chicken. I like a good sized chicken. And I've told you the ingredients, but you can see the recipe in the bottom. My wife always attaches a list of ingredients, so you can take a look at that for the ingredients. And cook time varies depending on the size of the chicken and how many vegetables you put in there, but usually an hour and a half or 2 hours at 350 degrees. But first, I want to take butter. I forget the name in Spanish, but
Mantequilla.
I like to put butter on the top, and I think it keeps it a little bit more moist. Keeps it from drying out. Maybe it doesn't, but I've seen other videos where people use it, and I think it's true. Potatoes, and I like to use bite size. So I usually cut them in half and then cut them in smaller pieces. And it helps them cook a little faster when they're all the same size. And just throw them in the pan. Now we'll just continue cutting up the vegetables. I don't skin the carrots because I don't think it's necessary. I think it's more work for nothing. The carrot has a lot of flavor without peeling them, but a lot of people think you need to peel them. It's just whatever works for you. I don't peel them. It's natural. Next we're cutting the celery. Kind of the same thing, whatever size you like, but you know, I try to keep them all the same size. You know, these aren't going to be the same size because you get to the larger end, obviously. But when I have a really wide piece of celery like the one I'm getting ready to cut, I'll cut it in half. When I have a larger piece of celery, I'll cut it in half just to try to keep them all the same size. Not really important, because it's just a preference. Now we're going to cut up an onion. I think we'll probably need more. This is part of a medium onion. Everyone has their different techniques, but I'm going to cut these in chunks, so it really doesn't matter. The size doesn't matter because they're going to cook down in the recipe in the pan anyway, so they don't need to be perfect. They just need to be chunks of onion, mainly for flavor. I like to cut them up and look and see how much is in the pan. And next we have cloves of garlic. I like to use larger cloves, and some people just throw them in there, and you can do really whatever you like. But I think after you cut them, I think it gives them a little bit more flavor. But it'll cook in a little bit of water, so it probably really doesn't matter that much. I've always had a habit of cutting them up, so just kind of mix them throughout. Gives it good flavor. You can cook them tomatoes first or however you like to do it, but I always put water in the bottom of the pan, so I put the tomatoes on top because it kind of roasts them, dries them out a little bit, but at the same time it roasts them, kind of gives them that extra flavor, I think. Now we're ready to put it in the oven. We're going to put our spices on. I've got, this is a spice, it's made by McCormick. It's called mozzarella chicken seasoning. It's got a little bit of orange zest and lemon zest and all kinds of other things, and I use it a lot for fish, mainly for chicken and fish, but I've used it in a lot of dishes. I use it in my soup. It's not an advertisement, I like to use it. It's especially good on this dish. Just spread it all over the chicken. And then I put it all over the vegetables because it really gives it an amazing flavor. Next I have garlic salt. ¿Cómo es en español?
Sal de ajo.
Sal de ajo. A little bit on the chicken and the vegetables. Regular salt. I don't salt my food much because you should add it really at the last because just again, matter of preference. And this is, I like to use a fresh cracked pepper. This is not a wooden cracker, but it works pretty well. I always like to use either a little bit of water, or if you have chicken broth, it's better to use chicken broth. It gives it a little better flavor. And then I usually shake it up and put a couple of cups in the bottom. I usually eyeball it, but for the sake of the video, I'm using a measuring cup. Probably about 2 cups, I figure. Put it in the bottom because you don't want to cook these vegetables dry. So it keeps a little bit of moisture in your pan and steam or what have you, and I just think it helps cook a little better. Anyway, my wife set the temperature, so I put a temperature gauge in there. And it's perfect at 350 degrees, and I think it's amazing that she knows exactly where it is on this. But now we're going to put the chicken inside. And because of the size of the chicken, we'll probably cook it for an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. If it's a larger chicken, probably 2 hours, because I like to slow cook it at 350. The chicken's ready. It's a little bit less than 2 hours.
Qué guapo.
Cool. Papas.
¿Es rico?
Muy rico.
Chupa.
Remember to subscribe and ring the bell in the bottom so you'll be notified of the upcoming videos.